Welcome back to Tech Stack for all you tech enthusiasts. In this video, we will create a login page using hard-coded credentials. After a successful login, we will display an admin-based sidebar. There are two common types of applications: website applications and admin applications. In a website application, the navbar is always visible. A login button is shown in the navbar, and when a user clicks it, the login form appears. After login, additional links become visible, which are meant for logged-in users. In an admin application, nothing is visible without login. No pages or navbar items are shown until the user logs in. Once logged in, the admin dashboard and sidebar are displayed. There are multiple ways to implement login functionality. In hard-coded login, the application is designed for a specific user, and the credentials are fixed inside the code. With API-based login, we send the username and password to an API, and the API authenticates whether the credentials are valid or not. Active Directory authentication uses Microsoft-managed user accounts to verify access within an organization. Another option is third-party login using Google or Facebook. These are different authentication methods available. In this application, we will use hard-coded login. First, run the project using ngserve. Currently, our navbar is not in an admin style. We need to convert it into an admin sidebar. Go to app.html where the navbar code is located, copy the HTML, and provide it to Chatgpt to convert it into an admin sidebar. In Chatgpt, type "convert it to a sidebar," then paste the copied navbar HTML. As you can see, it returned a clean and well-structured sidebar HTML. Let's copy the sidebar HTML and paste it into app.html. Now, let's test it and see the admin sidebar in action. As you can see, the sidebar is now well-designed and functional. Now, we will create two components: login and layout. In the Pages folder, open the integrated terminal. Create a login component. The login page will act as our parent component. Create a layout component. After login, the layout page will act as the parent component. Open app.routes.ts and define routes for both the login and layout components. Define the route for the login component, which will contain the login form. Now, by default, we want to redirect the application to the login form. Set redirect to the login route. Now, provide a route for the layout component. After login, the layout component will act as the parent, containing the navbar and other page elements. Add children routes under the layout component so that all components accessible after login become its children. Copy all routes except the wildcard route and paste them as children of the layout component. With this updated routing, you can only access the login page without logging in. After login, all accessible components become children of the layout component. This is the typical routing structure for an admin application. By default, the login page is shown, and once logged in, you see the navbar and other pages. Let's run the project using ngserve and test our routing setup. As you can see, by default, the login component is displayed, and the sidebar should not be visible on the login page. Currently, the navbar is defined in app.html. In app.html, remove everything except the router outlet. Move the sidebar code to the layout component so it only appears after login. Currently, the layout component shows an error because router outlet is not recognized. Fix this by adding router outlet to the imports array. Also, add router link to the imports array to enable navigation links in the layout component. Here's what we changed. In app.html, only the router outlet remains, and the sidebar code has been moved to the layout component. Now let's test it. As you can see, by default, the login page is displayed without the sidebar. Now, we need to create the UI for the login page. We will use Chatgpt to generate it. Let's write a prompt. Before moving ahead, as you know, Angular recently released Angular 21. We are covering Angular 21 from scratch, so if you're a beginner or intermediate, this series will be highly recommended for you. We have also provided the Angular 21 playlist in the description for easy access. Create a bootstrap login UI. For Angular without body tag or HTML tag. Don't worry, you can find the prompt in the video description and use it directly. As you can see, it generated a well-designed login form. Let's copy the generated HTML and paste it into the login components template. As you can see, we now have a professional login page. Using AI to design HTML can significantly minimize your work. Now, we will implement a hard-coded login. Let's create a class named UserModel for our login data. Add a property email of type string to the UserModel class. Add a property password of type string to the UserModel class. Create a constructor in the UserModel class and initialize both email and password with empty strings. Now that we have created the UserModel class, let's create an object of this class. We have created an object named UserObject from the UserModel class. Import Forms module. We will use template-driven forms for the login functionality. Now, bind the form fields in the HTML using ngModel. First, bind the email field using ngModel. Also, add a name attribute. When ngModel is used inside a form without a name attribute, Angular throws an error. Now, bind the password field using ngModel and also provide a name attribute. So, we have created the user object and bound it to the login form. Now, create a function named onLoginUser to handle the login process. Copy the function name onLoginUser and bind it to the login button's click event. Now, we will implement the hard-coded login logic inside the onLoginUser function. Apply a condition to check the email is john@mail.com. Apply a condition to check the password is john123. So, this is the hard-coded login. If the user provides the correct email and password, we will allow them to log in. Add an else block, and inside it, show an alert saying invalid credentials. This handles the case when the entered login details don't match the hard-coded credentials. If the login is correct, we need to navigate the user to the admin layout. For this, we will use router service. Let's inject the router service in the component. After successful login, use the navigate by URL method of the router to navigate the user to the Employee CRUD page. Now, let's test the login functionality. Let's enter the wrong credentials to verify that the login validation works. As you can see, the alert invalid credentials is shown, meaning the else block executed correctly. Now, enter the correct credentials. As you can see, the if block executed and the user was navigated to the Employee CRUD page. This completes the basic login page implementation using hard-coded credentials. In the next video, we will implement an Auth Guard to protect routes. If you're passionate about learning new technologies, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tech Stack, and keep learning new skills. Thank you. And remember, consistency is the key to success.